Good morning, everyone. I want to take some time and talk about Fractured Online. It is currently in its final playtest before relaunching to Early Access on Steam. It originally launched Early Access in September of 2022. The game was launched when it wasn't really ready due to the wishes of their publisher at the time, Gamingo. Due to Gamingo rushing the game, and it being pushed out when the developers of the game still wanted to work on it, it was a buggy flop. Tons of players were quitting left and right every day, and then the publisher Gamingo and Dynamite, the developer of the game, decided to part ways, and the game went offline in January. However, the developers of the game have shown a lot of passion because they have been working on the game for a year now while making zero income off of it. I'm going to make a brief introduction of the game for those of you that have never heard of this game, and then I will be going over some of the more important changes they have made to improve the game in the past year, now that we are getting closer to them re-releasing the game. So, people that have played Albion Online or Ultima Online will be quite familiar with this type of game. Fracture Online is an open-world sandbox MMO. You can create either a human character on the continent of Erin, or become an animal person on the continent of Terra, though you can use a Stargate to go in between the two of them, as I am currently a human on Terra at the moment. The most unique aspect about Fracture Online is the way in which you acquire skills and abilities in this game. You have a logbook here called Bestiary. Now, if you look here, you can see I have a percentage completion on all these creatures, right? So if you scroll down on these, you see their skills and abilities. As you play the game, as you kill these creatures more and more and get that percentage of knowledge up, you're going to learn their weaknesses, their stats, and the abilities they use. And once you get to certain areas of percentage complete, like this one has 3 abilities, so every, I believe it's 25 or 33%, you'll learn one of their abilities. So, I learned Heavy Blow, right? Now, you can learn all of these creatures' abilities. There is no longer any requirement to actually learn them. You used to have to spend knowledge points. But now you can learn every single ability in the game. So that's probably the most unique part about Fracture Online as a whole. So this is an open world PvP game, and there are multiple different types of PvP, right? So you can go to these shrines and decide what you want to do. You can be a good player, and if you die, you only lose the items in your inventory, right? Your equipment, the stuff you're wearing, will take a little bit of durability damage, but it will still stay alive. You won't drop it. Now, if you want to be neutral, it's basically the same, but you're saying, hey, I might be out PvEing and farming, but if someone wants to throw hands, I'm still going to throw hands. That's basically what neutral is. On top of that, you can also summon and gain loot from legends, the bosses that are in this game. Evil players, on the other hand, can attack anybody. Evil players can attack good, neutral, and evil. Good players can only attack evil players. Neutral can fight neutral and evil players. But if you're an evil player, depending on how low your karma is, you lose karma by killing players. You might lose gear. I believe it's every 2,000 evil karma, you will drop 1 extra piece of equipment upon your death, and it's completely random. You might use your really crappy armor, you might lose your really good weapon. You never know. However, you can choose not to participate in PvP. If you just want to be an animal person, stay on Terra, and just farm monsters safely because you want to be a crafter or gatherer, or you just want to fight mobs and you don't really want to fight players, either because you don't like PvP or you just don't enjoy PvP in the game, you can choose to just do that. If you enjoy PvP, I recommend being a human. Eventually, the demon race is going to release where everyone is an evil player and everyone dies. PvP world. Sounds really fun to me. I can't wait for it. Now, there are no NPCs in this game. All trading will be done by players on the marketplace. There's no NPC to sell items to. You just go through marketplaces. This is the trading. Or, if you want to trade in person, let's say you're paying people to bring you wagons of coal, you can drag an item onto somebody and it will make a trade window appear, and you can trade that way as well. Crafting, on the other hand, is also done by players. All weapons and all armor in the game will be crafted by players. NPCs do not drop weapons or armor. So if you go into your book, the way crafting works, for weapons, you no longer need recipes. You can craft any of these weapons. However, the way proficiency works, you're going to want to finish your primitive weapon that leads to that weapon to max before trying to level that, because then you'll level up faster. Leveling up those weapons through crafting just makes so they have higher durability. This one is 375. This one has slightly less because it's armor and it's made of a different material. But the durability you see at the bottom, at 90 out of 375, as you become more proficient at crafting that specific item, you will slowly go up and up and up, and eventually the durability will be much higher, so you can use it longer without it breaking. Now, if you don't like PvE or PvP, you can be a gatherer, you can gather resources and just sell it. You can be a crafter. You can just sit at the market boards and play the economy, try to become rich. The beauty of this game is that you have the freedom to do whatever you choose to do. If you want to create a guild and build your own city, you can do that. All over the map on either continent, there are unclaimed city areas that once you get a settler group together, you can take over and build it up. This is a very recently made city, and you can see on my minimap that they're building structures and setting up houses and whatnot. So there is a lot of city building in this game, and it's pretty fun in my opinion. Now, let's say someone has taken all the cities. If someone has taken all the cities on the map, you can form your own settler group and attack one of these cities and take it from them in the city siege system. And unlike Albion Online, this game was not made for Zergs to run the game. You can siege somebody's city, and it is a 20 vs 20 battleground, so you won't just have 100 people fighting 15 people trying to protect a city. They try to make it pretty fair and balanced, that way Zergs don't take over the game like some other sandbox games that have been out there. The biggest complaint I've seen about this game is that there are no NPCs and no quests to do. That is true. This game is about freedom to the players and creating your own adventure. If you need an NPC to hold your hand and tell you what to do, I understand. This game is probably not for you. Now that the brief description about the game is over, let's get into some of the bigger changes that they've made in the year the game has been offline. All of the bugs that have made people quit, such as clipping issues, evil players not losing their stuff when they die, and so on, have all been fixed. In addition to this, they have changed or implemented many new mechanics, such as no longer having to spend knowledge points on abilities. You can now learn every single ability in the game as soon as you reach the required bestiary. So, right here you see I have all the abilities. There are still quite a few I'm missing. I just got to Terra, I still have to kill a lot more mobs. But now that you can learn every ability in the game, you have a lot more options. You don't need to make 4 alt characters, each with a different class, and grind each of them up anymore. You can just have one character, and then if you want to change your class, you have 1 free respec a week. So you can just go in, respec, and change your attributes. And oh, suddenly you're a strength, wisdom, heavy armor user, you know? Like, it's giving you a lot more freedom and versatility because of that update. Also, they have removed weapon recipes, meaning now you don't need recipes to craft your weapons. You do, however, still need recipes to craft armors, but weapons being more important than armors because faster DPS means faster killing mobs, faster killing players, faster knowledge point gains. So it's very good that they got rid of the weapon recipes. Now, refining materials has also been made much easier. Back at launch, you would have to have 8 furnaces, 8 tanning vats, 8 woodworking stations, because you can make, what, 1, 2 ingots at a time? 2 planks at a time? Now, to process your ores and ingots, hides into leather, and so on is made much easier, because at one furnace, you can queue up to 20 ingots at a single time. If you want to make 20 steel ingots, that's fine. 16-hour craft time, but now you got that out of the way, you can go grind other stuff while you wait for that. So crafting has become a lot easier, and it's that same way with everything. Now, woodworking stations, you can make 10 planks at a time, and the same thing for tanning hides. Makes it so crafting gear is a lot less of a grind and much more manageable. On top of that, you used to have to use a lot of reagents in order to imbue your gear. Now, you don't need nearly as much. So if I was going to go and try to imbue something, it used to take 5 of each reagent in each slot. Now, that's kind of a lot. It's not very fun to have to gather. Oh, there's already some here. So you see? Out of 1. 1 out of 1, 4 out of 1. Now it only takes 1 of each to enchant something. Quite good. They have also added a % chance to get something called Divine Rewards while killing mobs. There are different tiers of Divine Rewards. There's Heroic, Valiant, Fabled, Epic, Legendary. Now, each of these have higher chances, based on the tier, to give you an Orb of School Proficiency, which I'll explain a bit later, Armor Recipes, Enchanting Dust, or just bulk gold. Now, the gold's nice and all, but the Enchanting Dust is key. So this Enchanting Dust is used for the enchanting system that they just recently added. This allows you to increase your weapons damage and your armor's tankiness, and it's very, very cheap. So if you look at my gear, you'll see all these +2s and +4s and the +3. So enchanting a wolf teeth necklace makes it go from 2.5% critical chance all the way up to 7.5% critical chance. So it's very cheap, but it buffs your gear a lot, including like the tankiness of your armor and the base damage of your weapon. A regular short bow will only do 109 damage, so I'm getting an extra 10 damage per auto attack. Now, with implementation of the rank system, which is the system that's making it so you no longer have to pay for talent points, you just automatically get them. There's no plus button here anymore where you have to waste knowledge points buying them. The rank system automatically levels you up and automatically gives you talent points. As your rank goes up, your school proficiency can also go up. You need max rank in order to get your school proficiency up to level 10. As you can see here, the way school proficiencies work, I have 1 point in Warfare, right? That's because I got an Orb of Warfare from one of my Divine Rewards. So now if I go into any of my Warfare abilities, and I hold Alt, you see where it says max health 2.4 to 3.6% multiplied by Constitution? In those brackets, so at Warfare level 0 in school proficiency, it will be 2.4% times my Constitution. But at Warfare level 10, once I've used 10 Orbs of Warfare, I will gain 3.6% multiplied by my Constitution. And there is orbs for every single school of ability. So you want to focus on leveling those up because it gives you more damage, more duration on CC abilities. If you're a totem user, it'll make your totems last longer. The addition of school proficiencies is amazing. I really like it. Now, another thing that people have mixed feelings about, the continent of Myrrh in the human world is gone. It has been deleted completely because it makes the game run a lot smoother if each realm only has one continent. Like, the wild folk, the furries, they only have one continent. The humans having 2 continents was one of the reasons why the early access was so laggy. But now that has been fixed, with the deletion of Myrrh and adding all of the NPCs there to Erin. Now Erin is the only human continent. Now, these are only some of the many improvements they have made to the game. While I would love to list them all, I don't really want to make this a 3-hour long video. Honestly, I don't think developers of this game have slept more than 5 hours a day in the past year because they're a small indie development studio. So I don't know how they've done all this in slightly less than a year. It's baffling to me. Now, the most recent Discord announcement is that this will be the final playtest before Fracture Online launches back to early access on Steam. We do not have an exact date of release yet. Just take this video as an advisory of sorts, that Fracture Online is coming back, and it's bigger and better than ever before. Fracture Online is making a comeback. It's fun, and all it needs now is more players. Over the next few days, I will be releasing a lot of guide videos for new and returning players that want to do research and play the game efficiently and be competitive. If you would like to come and test out the game for free, the developers are giving me 10 testing keys every day. These keys only work for the playtest. The current test will be running until October 15th. At the moment, I'm just giving away these keys to whoever comes to my stream first and asks for a key. twitch.tv/originalsinnw, and I'll leave a link in the description. Now, something to keep in mind as well, until this game launches to early access on Steam, Jacopo, the head developer of the game, stated that buying the game is only $15, and that sale is going to run until early access. Once early access starts, that sale might not be going on anymore. So drop by the stream, grab a testing key, try out the game, see if it's worth buying it, see if it's your cup of tea, and then buy it while it's cheap. Because I'm pretty sure that's 40% off discount right now. And if you are a new or returning player, this game is very difficult to play alone. The guild I'm in is the Iron Bank. They've been testing and playing this game for 3 years now. So I don't think you'll find any other guild better equipped to help you learn and enjoy the game. I'll leave the link to their Discord in the description as well. That's all from me. Have a good one, lads.